Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is KidNate at BloodyElbow.com, joined once again by the inevitable, the ineluctable, the ineffable Eugene S. Robinson, author of Fight. Everything you ever want to know about ass kicking, but were afraid you'd get your ass kicked for asking, huh?
Fucking A, man. I was really pulling for you there. At the last second, I was just hoping you would blow it. Just to keep up your streak, you know.
Just to keep things hot.
Yeah, there you go.
We are here for the Care Don't Care preview for UFC on Fox 22, aka UFC on Fox. VanZant versus Waterson. Paige VanZant versus the Karate Hottie, Michelle Waterson, plus Sage Northcutt versus the CM Punk killer, Mickey Gall. Oh my, oh my's.
Northcutt?
What?
Northcutt, huh?
What?
Huh? We got a routine.
Yes, indeed.
I'm sorry to have to go junior high school on that, but I just can't. I can't, you know. How long you going to spoon feed a guy? Like they said about the Whoopi Goldberg. What? Whole nation's afraid to hurt somebody's feelings?
So you're saying they're spoon feeding Sage with the Mickey Gall fight, but Mickey Gall called him out?
No. The train has stopped with Mickey Gall. Yeah, I just don't see Mickey Gall going back home saying, yeah, I guess I got beat by Sage. But I think they're doing it in a clever way. I think they're doing it because they know anybody with an undefeated record or, you know, it's sketchy. The guy's got to show some grit. He's got to have a loss before he's credible. You know, you judge a man not by his wins always, but by his losses.
Are you thinking they're pushing Mickey Gall then, or that?
I don't think they're pushing Mickey Gall necessarily. I think that they just need to. Sage is, you can't, unless you're fucking Strikeforce or Bellator, you just can't keep doing the patty cake shit before people start to smell a rat. If you don't know this, you gotta know this. You gotta up the competition just a little bit. You're gonna have to show up and put up, you know, otherwise, good luck. There are no Daniel Pewters in fucking the UFC. Nobody's, you know, well, sooner or later.
There's a few.
There are a few.
Mickey Gall might be one of them.
Maybe. We'll find out.
Let's start at the bottom of the card, and we got to start with the disclaimer, Eugene.
Okay. Crybabies, bedwetters, greedy bread gobblers, work-shy individuals, malingerers, grumblers, chronic complainers. This has less to do with your skills and talents as a human being or a fighter, and much more to do with the marketing heft and weight that the Uber bosses at WME-IMG have put behind you. If you get glossed with a don't care, don't come crying to us, fight an interesting fight, and you move to the careless, as happens with great frequency. All right, man. Well, Lando Clarician was one such guys, and even the fact that he fought the great fight against Ferguson wasn't enough to get him on the care list against fucking McDessie because McDessie. So, you know, but he is now. The spinning kick, he is now.
Yes,
so
spinning kick.
So it is possible, but until that happens, and if you get glossed with it, don't care, don't come crying to us.
Excellent. Well said. So, Saturday night, Fox always starts early, these Fox cards. The UFC on Fight Pass portion of the card will start at some horrific hour like 3 p.m. Eastern. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind. 3 fights on Fight Pass, starting with welterweight.
Hold on. Okay. The first 3 fights are on Fight Pass, right?
3 fights on Fight Pass.
Starting what time?
Let me double check this, but in the early hours of the afternoon, I believe Eastern, but it might even be 2 o'clock Eastern. Let me check. UFC.com is slowly pulling up. And then there's 6 fights on Fox Sports 1 and then 4 fights on Fox. And normally those start at 7 p.m. Eastern, so everything has to backfill around that.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
all I have to do is find somebody who has TV to watch these. I don't have
cable, because they're going to have Fox Sports 1.
Okay.
Plus 3 fights on Fight Pass. So you got to do the whole package, Eugene. The whole package. You need computer friends, internet friends, cable friends, the whole bit.
This is a real pain in the fucking ass.
Yes, it is. So first up, welterweights. Bohan Velekovic versus Sultan Aliyev. I don't know.
Sorry. Aliyev. He's fighting Bayer. And then he's going to go up against Pepto-Bismol. Nah, I don't care. Sorry.
I see. Yeah, I don't think you're really sorry, Eugene.
Okay, I'm not sorry, and I still don't care.
Yes, that's more like it. All right, now flyweight, Hector Sandoval, and I don't care either. Sorry, guys. Flyweight, Hector Sandoval and Freddie Serrano. Freddie with 1D.
No, don't care. Don't care.
I don't care either. But now we come to the fabled. Here's why you should get Fight Pass fight. Bantamweight, Eddie Wineland versus Takeya Mizugaki.
Oh man, this hurts, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Well, I mean, it hurts if you think they're being dumped onto Fight Pass, but if you look at it as they want to have name fighters on Fight Pass to drive subscriptions, it's not so bad.
Don't do it. Sorry, Sorrell's got a whistle in his mouth. He's about to blow the whistle.
I see.
He's been listening to Too Much Too Short. Blow the whistle. Next thing he's going to be on a stripper pole next. You know.
There's no such thing as too much too short.
Yeah. Okay, I care. I care. Yeah, but I'm not picking Mizugaki. That's for you, the Japanophile. I'm a Japanophile as well, but I just.
Since when?
Since forever. What's the matter with you?
Since when have you? I've never known you to pick a Japanese fighter.
You know how many times I've been to Japan, man? I'm like a veritable fucking mayor of Tokyo.
I see, but I've sat on my ass and rooted for Japanese fighters. That makes me the
I'm no fool.
I see. Traveling over there, I mean, I don't know.
They know me everywhere I go.
So you're picking, of course they do. You're notorious. All right, so
hanging out with Yakuza and 75-year-old prostitutes.
75-year-old prostitutes. See, that's what
I'm talking to dude. I was like, man, who the fuck? He's like, takes me to his whorehouse. He was like, I go, who the fuck would go to a 75-year-old prostitute? I'd be that guy's. And then he gets a little smile on his face. I go, what? You? He was like, yeah. He goes, man, the skin is so soft. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna knock it. 75-year-old prostitutes, cool. They were pretty happy sitting out there. You know what? They were cutting vegetables for the restaurant next door. But it was also what? He's look, I'm getting criticism here from the peanut gallery.
People are appalled.
75-year-old women need love too, man.
Well, these aren't, prostitution's not love, Eugene. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah, that's what everybody. Yeah, now everybody's agreeing with
It's
you.
an inherently exploitative relationship.
Yeah, okay, well, she seemed pretty happy. I mean, I didn't have sex with her. I'm not saying that.
I see.
She was sitting out cutting potatoes and singing songs.
How lovely. So you're picking Wineland over Mizugaki.
Yes, I am. Oh, Mr. Japanophile suddenly has problems.
Well, Mizugaki's lost 3 out of his last 4.
Yeah.
And Wineland is also not what he used to be, but isn't on that much
That's the man he used to be.
Yeah. But see, he just had a 3 out of 4 run. He's won 2 out of his last 5. So they're both aging. Wheels are falling off. Okay, I'll pick Mizugaki just as a favor to you, Eugene, just to make it interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, yep. And now we come to the Fox Sports 1 portion of the card, where women's bantamweight Leslie Smith takes on Irene Aldana.
I'm almost care because of Leslie Smith, but you just got it. I need some. No, I don't know Aldana, so I'm going to say no.
Pretty harsh, but I can't.
Hey, if I didn't let Venata through, I can't let Leslie Smith through just because of local favoritism. Blatant localism can't do it.
Since when? I thought you made your own rules. I thought you lived free, Eugene.
Hey, Sorrell, close the door, will you?
3:30 p.m. Eastern is when the Fight Pass thing starts. 12:30 Pacific time, and then the Fox Sports 1 prelims are at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's ugly. All right. Now
I'm being heckled from all sides. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. So
my team is showing me how much they love me.
Isn't it a beautiful thing?
By showing me their penises, they're giving me the fingers, and showing me their asses. It's love.
Let's see. Well, just don't leap out of the chair. Don't become overcome with lust and excitement and leap out of the chair.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
All right. Lightweight Josh Emmett versus Scott Holtzman.
Don't I give a shit?
Nope. Sorry, guys. All right.
I have to say, Scott Saltzman has not escaped my notice.
Scott Holtzman?
Holtzman, yeah. But I don't care about this.
But you don't care. All right. So now welterweight James Moontasri versus Alex Morono.
Don't care. Sorry.
I almost care about Moontasri, but he's burned me. So.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Now welterweight Colby Covington, who I think once flirted around with care status, against Bryan Barberena, who you might remember from beating Sage Northcutt.
Right. That's right. Yeah. So who's the matchup again?
Colby Covington,
Yeah,
who
that's
I
right.
believe once fought his way onto the care list, only
Yeah,
to
he
slide
did.
back down
He did because of the name.
and the
Yeah.
fights.
Yeah. Well, his good long-term friendship with Richie Rich, and sorry. No, I care. How about that?
Yeah, but who you picking?
No, I picked the last one. I'll give you a chance to pick this one.
Oh, I see. Because you're going to copy the pick. I'm on to your
No.
tricks. I'm on to your tricks, Mr. City Slicker. Bryan Barberena is my pick all the way.
Fuck it. I should have gone first.
Yeah,
All right.
see?
Well, okay. Just to make you happy, I will pick Colby.
Yeah, I think, and that's a solid pick. That is a solid pick. And now we come to featherweight grumbler Cole Miller against Mizuto Hirota.
I care.
Yes.
I care because of the malcontents. I was almost going to be harsh and not care.
That would be pretty harsh, but Cole says he doesn't care. Which is why I'm
just trying to put my finger in the air. Okay, so you're not going to pick him? All right, then that's easy.
Anytime a fighter says I don't care about this fight, I'm not picking him.
Okay, I care about Miller then.
All right. You care and you're picking him to win?
Yeah. And you're picking?
I'm picking Hirota because he cares.
Okay. All right. We got some action on this fight then.
Yes. I think Cole Miller, man, you want to talk about Lost Battalion. Out by the wood pile. There might not even be any wood in his pile, but he's out there with a little hatchet trying to get something going. So, yeah. What is with Mr. Loquacious?
No, I'm sorry. I got an incident that's coming. The text is
did the cop just show you his penis and you're just
the water fucking heater went out at the house, if you must know. And
I see. Now we're getting into personal business. We don't need to hear all your personal business. You
just asked. You just asked.
Disgusting. This is a family show. We don't want to talk about water heaters. You know what? That hot water. What happens with that hot water? All right. Now we come to the headliner, the Fox Sports 1 headliner, not to be confused with the actual headliner. Light heavyweight, Paul Craig versus Luis Henrique da Silva.
I don't forgive a fuck.
I know neither guy has a Wikipedia entry. That tells you where we're at.
Yeah.
As far as they're not even trying. That's all right. Now we move on to the big time.
Okay, I'm dialed in again. I'm focused.
You're focused.
Focus.
Got your rabbit ears
my eyes
adjusted for some of that HD TV broadcast style. And welterweight.
I actually have a question for you.
Yes.
I'm pretty unhappy with Xfinity and Comcast. Would it make sense for me to go to DirecTV from my? I don't want TV really, maybe except I don't know. I'm doing it mostly for the high speed cable. Does that make sense?
Internet or the high speed?
Yeah, I was a high speed internet, right? But if I need to watch a fight, it would be nice to convert. So.
Well, I don't know. Why are you asking me? I don't even know anything about this.
I'm asking you and everybody.
I see. Ask everybody because I don't know jack.
So what do you have?
DirecTV doesn't even. I have a local company called Grande.com here in Austin, Texas, that is better than Google Fiber.
Okay.
Well, not really, but it was better than any alternatives before we had Google Fiber in town.
Okay. And
Google Fiber's not even going to any more towns, so take that.
Okay, so you're some really weird local things. So I guess my choices are: I hate AT&T, so I won't go. I don't trust them at all. So Xfinity, Comcast, and DirecTV, I guess, are my choices. I'm ready to pull a trigger on this. I can't take it. I can't take the slow fucking cable. I can't take some slow internet. I can't take the gouge. And
Does DirecTV come with internet?
Yeah, I think it does. That's what I'm asking. I don't know.
I don't know.
Text me or tweet me. Let me know if you're listening.
Let Eugene know. But let's get back to the business at hand. Welterweight, Mike Perry versus Alan Jouban. I believe, is that Mike Deplorable Perry? Is that his nickname?
You were the one who pointed it out. Was it you yesterday who pointed out the twisted genius of having Rick Perry and dragging the fucking Mitt Romney in there?
Yes.
We were laughing about this morning. I go, do you know anybody else who would do stuff like that? People go, no. And one guy goes, you. Yes, yeah.
Are you saying you're Trump-esque?
I would drag it. I would drag Mitt. I would make him dance and do a jig and put your left foot in and put your left foot out and put your left foot in. Hey, could you shake it all about for me? You know what? I like you, Mitt, but I can't give the job to you. You're not ready.
Yeah. It was pretty. I mean, it had to have been fun.
Yeah. I mean, the only other world leader that I could think that has that propensity for small-minded revenge is Hitler. So, and I hate to go there so soon, but
what about Stalin?
He didn't seem as
petty?
Yeah, he didn't seem quite as. I mean, he had kind of the mafia animal smarts. It's funny you should mention it. I was just reading about. Is it because a link you sent me? I was just reading about his death again yesterday.
The article about his daughter.
Yeah, oh, that's right. You said I still need to go back and read that. No, this was about him dying in his own urine. I didn't realize that the reason why they didn't go up when he first had his first attack was because they were afraid. They're like, he usually gets up, but we don't want to interrupt him. So they left him there 6 hours face down in his own piss. And it was Khrushchev who reported about Beria's fantastic comedy routine, where every time Stalin was unconscious, he'd be spitting out of you, pig. And then when he would regain consciousness, he'd be like, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you.
With friends like Beria, I mean, you think Uncle Joe would have had better friends there at the end, but
well, you get the kind of friends you deserve,
do you? Well, that's a scary thought. A scary thought.
Yeah.
So let's focus here. Alan Jouban or Mike Perry?
I care.
Yes.
Because Jouban always makes me think of a raging bull,
How so?
What do you
slamming
mean?
Somebody in a car door?
What do you mean when you say he's good looking? What do you know about how good looking he is? No, I'm just saying he's a handsome kid. That's all. What do you want to fuck him? Is that what you? No, Jake. You ain't handsome.
And tie this back into Alan Jouban.
He's a handsome guy. A guy who's got those Calvin Klein model looks.
I see. Well,
come on, you can't tell me you watch Jouban and you're not thinking, I want this guy to get busted 4 ways to Sunday. I want to be able to stand up and say to the TV, you ain't handsome no more.
Oh, come on. Me and my handsome friends stick together.
That's because you have to. Me, the guy's a competitive threat.
I see. Both of these guys are posers, though. Mike Perry is.
Yeah, I know.
Mike Platinum Perry is just as much a pretty boy.
Hold on. I am easily swayable. If you tell me you don't care about this fight, you might shake me off of my perverted desire.
I care. There's a reason they're putting these guys on Fox, because they think they're pretty.
Yeah.
And which makes me kind of hate them both, and I want to see them both take some facial disfigurement.
Okay, so we both care for.
I didn't say that, by the way.
So you don't care yet?
I do care. I said I care. I do. Yes.
But we both care for completely unhealthy reasons.
Yes, it's a hate watch.
Which means we care, but we don't even care who wins. We just
want to see a good fight. How about that?
That's a more political way to put it.
Yes.
We want to see a good fight. Really, what we mean is we want those busted up 4 ways to. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
So we care. So how do we just say?
I'm picking Jouban because you let me pick first.
I didn't let you pick first. You decided to pick first.
Well, you gave me the opportunity. I seized it.
All right. So I'm picking Jouban too. I don't give a shit.
All right. Ooh, man, afraid. Eugene ducks the.
No. I'm doing it based on the unhealthiness. In other words, out of the guys I want to see mussed up worse, I want to see Jouban mussed up worse than I want to see the other guy. And I'll tell you. Listen, Mr. Jouban, if you happen to be listening to this, you can't take this shit personally. Look,
just business.
I'm old. I'm crazy. Nobody likes me. You just take it with a grain of salt. You got it all. Look at me. Come on.
Yeah.
That's all I got. That's all
I see. So, which black actor of your generation do you hate the most?
Oh, before you even finish the fucking sentence, when you said which black actor hate and the name popped into my head, Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson, more so than I mean, the guy who played Bird with the eye. What's that
No,
guy's name?
Forrest Whitaker is a fight fan. He's always nice to me. Comes in a close second for me would be Jamie Foxx. And
Jamie Foxx over Lawrence Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne was nice to me, and is from my same neighborhood in Flatbush.
I see. What about Damon Wayans?
Not from the same neighborhood, and I've not met him, but he seems like a nice guy. Jamie Foxx, who I met, was a dick to me. Samuel Jackson was a dick to me. Fuck those guys.
Maybe Jamie Foxx was in character playing Blind Man.
Whatever, man. I was glad LL Cool J beat the fuck out of him. That's what I.
I see.
I was there to. All right, man. I was there to interview on the set to interview Gabrielle Union, who was on his TV show, and he was acting all weird and freaky. It's like, come on, what? I'm a journalist, man. What are you getting all icy and tough with me for? Are you kidding?
Maybe he was jealous that you weren't interviewing him.
I had a fuck. Yeah, okay, well, whatever, man.
Maybe he was like,
okay.
You caught his eye, and then he was pretty hurt and disappointed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So now moving on. Bantamweight.
Wow. Where'd that question come from? That was like.
I don't know. I was just you were talking about petty resentments, and it occurred to me you had a SAG card and a failed Hollywood career, and I thought, I bet Eugene has some axes to grind against guys his age who've made it in Hollywood.
No, and you would know how super healthy I am because Andre Brower used to be a friend of mine in college, and he's bona fide won Emmys and made it. But I have nothing but good feelings about that guy, even though our friendship does no longer exist. So.
You have nothing but good feelings about a guy, and yet your friendship no longer exists.
Yeah, I mean, the fucking dude, college at this point to him was an uncomfortable blip in his, ending his teenage years. What the fuck would he be thinking about college at this point? I mean, he's a guy who, when I got Leonard Part 6, he had gotten Glory, and I called him on the set, and I was like, hey, man, who would ever think that us guys who start out acting at Stanford, that we would have our first movies at the same time? And he got all chilly with me, and I realized, he went to fucking Juilliard. He was at the Royal Shakespeare Academy. It's like some guy coming to me now because he's got a heavy bag at home going, hey, Eugene, it's like we're both martial artists. No, man. No. I'm getting up every day at 6 a.m. to fucking train for 2 hours. We are not the same, mister. I have a punching bag in my living room. Get the fuck out of here.
I see. Well, it's good that you're still good with him despite his meteoric rise.
Yeah. Well, and also, he's never been one. There was another guy that we started.
But he's also a character actor, not a leading man. I mean, you don't see yourself as a character actor, do you?
No. But no, my thing is a whole ladder pulling thing, which is what defines a sellout in my mind. I mean, and he's not been, as far as I can see, very helpful to anybody. So I don't even hold it. I mean, including there was a guy that we acted with, and when he was like getting movie roles with Gwyneth Paltrow and shit like that, and that terrible movie Duets. My other dude was doing soap operas. He didn't reach out to help that guy. And his wife is an actor, and he hasn't helped her really either. So it's like, he's consistent. I don't hold it against him, man. He's like,
I see. You like him because he's not helpful.
No, I like him because I've always liked him, and he's never done anything.
No matter what. So if he's watched the show, he now knows he's got a free pass to just diss you however he wants.
No, that would be very dangerous.
I see.
I don't like rich guys. Make me very touchy, And actually, I met a bunch of rich guys the other night, some billionaires, and I realized something very fucking shocking. Right?
You resented them?
No.
Okay.
It was different. Anybody listening, you and me, anybody listening. I could cite 10 things.
Any billionaires in the audience, turn off the podcast now. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, you and we could come up with a list. It wouldn't take us very long of 10 things that we could collectively agree made you a civilized, learned individual. And I'm not talking about super sophisticated things like knowing who Sigmund Freud is. I mean, we could agree on 10 things that everybody should know. How many branches of the U.S. government are there? How many, just 10 things that an adult person should know to participate in this grand experiment that we call. These billionaires who I met, I would guarantee that they couldn't get 5 of these things on that list. I'm talking about knowing anything, Western culture, who Charles Dickens is. You and I could agree to a list of 10 that most people listening on this would get 6 or 7, or maybe if you said, okay, Jean-Paul Sartre. Oh, yeah, French philosopher guy. Pablo Picasso. These guys wouldn't get 5. and yet they're fucking billionaires. And so I'm like, I'm walking around this whole night. I'm going, how is that fucking possible? Then I realized stupidity has positive social value, because these guys are fucking private equity guys. They're venture capital guys. And when you go to them with an idea, they say, okay, I got this idea. You know, I kind of monetize. I'm going to develop this app where I'm going to, and the guy goes, I don't get it. What I mean is, it's like this thing, and then you people buy in, and then they go in and go, I don't know what you mean. Okay, well, that's it. Then some guy comes to him and says, all right. It's like a cross between a thermostat and an iPhone. He goes, oh, I get it. And the company Nest is born.
I see. So they act as a filter because ideas have to have a certain clarity and power to penetrate their thick-addled brains. That makes a certain amount of sense. But speaking of thick-addled brains, we've got a pick to make here, and a care to indicate Urijah Faber and Brad Pickett.
Big care.
A big care, but both of these guys are like, I mean, Brad Pickett is beyond washed up at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's trying to catch up with the Lost Battalion on a raft he made himself to get off of Gilligan's Island, and he's paddling away.
That's fucking tough. Oh man.
I mean, I love the guy, but you know, he honestly should not be fighting anymore. He's 38 years old. He's lost. My God, 7 out of his last 10 fights. Yeah. I mean, he hasn't had a finish. His wins have been 2 split decisions and a unanimous decision. He hasn't had a KO win since 2012.
You know, but that's not why he was chosen, right? Or maybe
he was chosen to be an opponent. Yes, it is why.
I know that's exactly why he was chosen. I mean,
because he's a name-ish sort of kind of opponent that.
But you know what? You know what I've been pimping on Knuckle Up is that that these guys, these Rocky fights, I think WME has kind of come to the conclusion that these Rocky fights are the way to go. Because if you don't think Brad Pickett's going to show up to try to shit on Urijah Faber's cake, you're completely fucking wrong.
That's true. He'd love to knock out the California Kid, and who wouldn't?
He's going to rise to the occasion like he's never risen to any occasion. The issue is, will that be enough? Especially since, you know, Urijah Faber has no interest in going out fucking toes up. So I think the potential, we care, and the potential for it being a good fight is really fucking high.
So you're saying Faber wants to go out face down, ass up? And that's a pretty harsh thing to say, Eugene. I don't think I can go along with that kind of thing.
I think he wants to go down, feet down, head up. How about that?
I see. He wants to walk out of the cage.
Hands raised high. Yes.
I see. Well, that to me is what this looks like. They're not looking to build a Rocky moment around Brad Pickett. They're looking to give Urijah Faber a win. Yeah,
I think you know, I'm gonna have. He's a near friend of Knuckle Up because of his association with past friends of Knuckle Up, specifically Nick Diaz and Jake and all those guys. So I'm gonna pick Faber.
I see.
And I just can't trust Pickett. Sorry.
Yeah, I got to go with Faber here because this is you know, this is a gimme. I mean, for a long time, Faber would only lose to the very top of the division, but now he's started to lose to whoever he's in the cage with. So
he's lost to Big John McCarthy. He's lost to
Ariana just knocked him for a loop.
I got it, man. He's like fuck.
Yeah, he gets easy, little man, from all the ring card girls now, not just the top flight ones. So yeah, I mean, Jimmy Rivera, that was a fight he was supposed to win, and Frankie Saenz he barely beat, and then Francisco Rivera he had the nut shot to beat. Remember that fight?
Yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, and so
the thing is, you kind of you set me down another path there when you said when you mentioned the ring girl, Ariana. Is that who you said?
Yes.
And I was like, what kind of fucking idiot goes for the ring card girl?
I've seen Urijah Faber doing it in person.
Yeah, okay. Outside of those guys who were there and have some sort of fucking cachet, I mean, you got to know that that's the least fucking sensible place to put your time and effort. You got to know that.
Some guys are like moths to flame, you know? There was always, you knew the nerd that would always go after the cheerleader in high school, and
initially you had, I mean, I'm sure before you got on the shit list, you were getting credentials and going to the fights, right?
I was never getting credentials and going to the fights.
Okay, so the women that work on the UFC, not the ring girls, but the women who were routinely much hotter than, for me, in my mind, always got my attention.
You're attracted to literacy, though, and not every man.
Like Martin Amis said in that book, Zone of Interest, without intelligence, there is no beauty. So
I see. Just that's for some of us, but not necessarily all.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Not for the billionaires. The billionaires, huh? I don't get it. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah. So, all right. So we're both picking Faber, and now we come to the fight I know you're excited about. And I gotta say, I like what the UFC is doing here. 4 fights on the Fox card. 3 out of 4 of them feature new pretty faces. And now we come to the newest, the prettiest welterweight, Sage Northcutt, against Mickey Gall, who talked his way into this fight.
Yeah. Oh, I care, and I'm going with Gall.
You're picking Gall, huh?
Yeah, not a moment.
I've got to go with the guy who's actually beat a UFC caliber fighter in the past, and that would be Sage Northcutt. I don't think he's beaten any great UFC caliber fighters, but Mickey Gall beat a middle-aged dude who had no business being in the UFC.
Yeah, well, I liked what I saw, and he was strong on the grappling, and Northcutt hasn't really revealed himself to be as adept, so whatever.
Yep. Well, yeah, it's.
You're gonna pick Northcutt.
I'm picking Northcutt.
Northcutt.
Huh?
Northcutt?
What?
Yeah. Yeah,
we're killing ourselves here.
Yeah, we are, man. There's a laugh
on our own farts. This is beautiful. All right, Sage Northcutt is going to beat Mickey Gall, Eugene. That's just book it.
Mickey Gall. Okay.
Yeah. All right, and now
I picked Mickey Gall for all of you sane viewers.
I see all the sane viewers. We don't have any of those, Eugene. This is the bath salts demo. I think they've all moved on to Croc, actually.
What is that?
You haven't heard about Croc?
No.
It's some drug supposedly in Russia that
Oh, crocodile. Yes, I have.
Turns your skin to
terrible. Do not do this. Terrible.
Seems like a real bad idea. So stick to K2 and other synthetic marijuana. Just kidding, because that stuff is terrible too.
Yeah.
All right. No, don't huff household cleansers.
Only dopes and really cool people do dope.
That's right. Only dopes are huffing spray paint out of a paper bag. All right. Women's strawweight. Paige VanZant against Michelle, the karate hottie Waterson.
Yeah, I care.
Yeah. Now, are they legit trying to push both ladies or just Paige?
Just Paige.
Even though the karate hottie is the karate hottie?
Man, you go with it where the heat is, and she's just got a much. I mean, she's what they like. I mean, she actually takes it seriously and can actually really fight. It seems like. And is no stranger. I mean, she's not a shrinking violet, and she doesn't make you feel bad for watching her. And she's not trying to lean too heavy on the sexy thing. And I don't know.
It's the cute and wholesome thing.
Yeah, I'm all. She pleases me in ways that Sage Northcutt doesn't really.
We don't need to know about these things, Eugene.
Nah, it's just that golly gee willikers.
If you're more open-minded, I think you might find that Sage can be very pleasing.
It's just that golly gee willikers, yes ma'am, no ma'am. It just makes me think of Eddie Haskell.
That's exactly Paige VanZant's entire thing. She's Rebecca of Donnybrook Farm.
I don't think so. I think she's just who she is. You know what they say, sincerity.
Sage isn't?
Sincerity is everything, and once you can fake that, you got it made.
Sage can fake it.
I think I'm not buying his act as much. Yes, ma'am.
I see.
No, sir.
Maybe if you were from real America.
You would be a better judge. I really got to follow your lead on this, man, because it's a Texas thing, and I just don't know. It just as a New Yorker, it just strikes me as I'm not.
Yeah, people in Texas hate people like Sage Northcutt too. I can tell you that.
Got it. All right. Yes. All right. So, all right.
But Paige is less loathsome. Maybe was she on Dancing with the Stars the same season Rick Perry was?
Oh, that I don't know.
Yeah. See, future Secretary of Energy. Oh my God.
Well, maybe she's got a job in the administration. She could be Undersecretary of Defense for Afghanistan.
Well, did you hear Sarah Palin?
Hold on. Give me some fucking credit for Afghanistan.
No. Come on.
Okay.
Did somebody text that to you? Is that?
No, I just came up with that, man. I'm
a genius. This is why we have to pay a whole team of script writers for you, Eugene.
Me and Bob Hope.
Yes,
Come
you and
on,
Bob
come on,
Hope.
bro. That's not funny.
That sounded nothing like Bob Hope. That was
I
a
know.
Jimmy Cagney.
No, it wasn't. It was almost there. Uncle Teach. Uncle Teach. What he used to call Bing Crosby. Come on, Uncle Teach.
Uncle Teach. I
Yeah.
see. Bing and Bob. What dear, dear friends. Yeah. So Michelle Waterson, Paige VanZant. You're picking Paige.
Hey, yeah, I am.
Yeah. And you're waiting on me to pick. Is that what's happening?
That's what we're waiting for.
You might be, what was it Bushwick Bill said? You might be a waiting motherfucker.
That's right. That's right. I don't give a fuck about your army or that shit that you're stressing.
Yes. I got to go with Paige VanZant, too. I just don't think the Karate Hottie has it in her to beat
She's
Paige.
got a good nickname.
She does. And I do believe it's perfectly apt, but actually the karate part is kind of lacking.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any notable karate type stuff. She seems more like a Muay Thai based fighter, but that's niggling. That's just hair splitting. So anyway, that's our show then. I mean, we're both picking Paige VanZant, and
we should touch briefly in the last 2 minutes on maybe, since we don't want to have to wait a week to do it, and you could put it in the thing, Hermaine Randami and Holly Holm. I mean, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, and we'll have time to talk about it later. But the news just broke, and of course,
you're just excited because you're personal acquaintances with Haran.
Friend to knuckle up. Yep, and
it's all nepotism with you. It's either egotism or nepotism. You could be Trump.
You wouldn't be the first to say that, my friend. like Chris Rock said, he goes, "I'm rich. I'd be down with the whole Republican program if it wasn't for the we hate black people part." You know?
Yep.
I mean, and I tell you seriously, once Republicans can figure that shit out, they gotta. Would they get more? There are a lot of people in the black community who are not down with the fucking in the culture war, would side with the Republicans in a second for not that.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you
go to any black church and ask how they feel about gay marriage. But that we hate black people, so you would lose. But what would you gain? What would you gain versus what you would lose?
Exactly. There's probably more racist white people than reactionary black people out there.
I don't know that.
Really? I mean, because there's a lot more white people. There's no,
I mean, it stands to reason, but I'm not gonna make any fucking assumptions. How the fuck do I know? What do I know?
I see. No assumptions.
I don't know who's racist, who's not. What can I say?
See. No assumptions, Eugene.
Hey, you know what? I got some friends who are hanging out at KKK rallies.
He gives every Nazi a chance.
Always nice to me. He
lets the Manson family prove to him that they are not to be trusted before he
Right. They were always nice to me as well until they started threatening my life,
right. I heard some of their defense lawyers said the same thing, or would have said the same thing had they lived.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's our show then.
Talk about
did you have anything else to say?
Basket of deplorables. Talk about basket of deplorables.
What about basket of deplorables?
I got them.
I'm smuggling a basket of deplorables. That would be.
All right. So now I got nothing. So.
Yeah, I got nothing either. So you got nothing about Holm and Duran to me.
I'm excited about it, but I'm more interested or compelled by what's turning into a Fedor-esque uncomfortable thing that now I just, like Prince said about his marriage, I just treat that like I treat other things I don't like. I make believe it doesn't exist. And that's where I am largely with it's starting to be that. You got to admit, it's starting to be that way with Cyborg. I mean, and Dana, the genius of guys like Dana and McGee has everything to do with the fact that they are getting ahead of the game and spelling out, painting up, defining narratives. When McGee says, call it Waldo or I'm even got Waldo. Where's Waldo? Jose Waldo, when he's calling him a perpetual no-show, all of a sudden it resonated as something like, even though the guy's only done it a couple times, he did a couple times in noteworthy times that were like, huh. And so now Dana throws up his hands recently, like yesterday, and was like, whatever. She's been whining. We created this fucking thing for her, and she can't show up. Now, they probably knew she couldn't show up, and then she responds with, it's a drag working for a boss who doesn't fucking like you. It's like, man, you guys are, it's like the baseball strike in the fucking, whenever it was in the 80s. You're really working on the last chords. But you know who's going to win that one? The bald one, because he's got a deep fucking bench. You know, Cyborg doesn't have a deep fucking bench. You know, we love you. Fucking fight. Yeah, you know, I got to bounce back from this thing, and okay, and you guys are arguing over days.
Weeks. It's weeks. It's weeks.
Oh, really? How many weeks exist between February 11th and March 1st? 2?
That's 3 weeks.
We're arguing over 3 weeks.
That's 21 days. That's a long time. That's virtually a whole training camp. I mean, come on. Come on.
I'm a big Cyborg fan, man. She was really nice to my kids, and I just, you know, but you got to realize, you got to have a PR person on your team who are going like, you need to, you know.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I mean, Germain and Holly, that's a good matchup, and I don't have any problem with them setting up a challenger that's got some juice for them, you know. And the thing is, you know, they have lots of things that could happen. Honda wins this fight. Honda says, I'm tired of running from this woman. I'll go up and fight her. You know, anything could happen. You know, you can take a fight too soon, but you can also take a fight too late. The former happens much more often than the latter, so maybe she's making the right choice. But I'm getting to the edge.
I see. Living on the edge.
Anytime Fedor opens his mouth these days, like he has been, he's opened his mouth a couple times in the last week.
Has been?
Yeah.
But I'm bump.
Yeah, and you can't tell me that you give a fuck. Go whatever, man. Go back to Starry or school. Sorry.
Time has moved on. But I'll still watch Fedor fight. I mean, I'm not like...
It depends. How much would you watch Fedor fight?
If it was on in prime time, I didn't have to get up in the middle of the night, you know?
Yeah. Would you pay the $65?
Probably not. But if it was free...
Yeah. See? You see?
Yeah. That's that. Well, and that's our show. So, follow us on Twitter, @KidNate, @Eugene S. Robinson. Eugene's trying to do the thumbs up, but the thumbs up are done like this.
I got a desk now instead of a shaky shoebox to hold the computer on.
And whose fault is that?
Yours.
I see. Oh, of course. Blame KidNate.
Look what you made me do.
So many taglines, so little time. Subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube. Subscribe to MMA Nation on iTunes. Get the audio without the ugly. Read me on BloodyElbow.com. Read Eugene at Aussie.com. Zane and Connor will be back with the MMA Vivisection for this fight tomorrow. Yeah, Zane, that guy. And we'll have the 6th round after the fights, and Eugene will have Knuckle Up on Sunday night. So,
there you go.
Adios, MMA aficionados. Thanks, Eugene. We'll see you next time.
All right, man. Later.